webinar of the day. So this afternoon, the webinar is going to be about, the digital tech and entrepreneuriat and, how they work together. I'm going to do a short presentation in French, and then we're going to start the webinar. It's going to be in English, and, we'll be able to follow on the PowerPoint presentation. OK, alors bonjour à tous, bienvenue à notre 5e webinaire déjà de la journée. Donc ce webinaire, le sujet de ce webinaire, ce sera sur le numérique et l'entrepreneuriat. Est-ce qu'on a un archipel qui est bien connecté? Et puis surtout, quelles sont les opportunités qui découlent de ce nouveau secteur de l'économie et de l'activité de manière générale. Donc avec nous aujourd'hui, on a Madame Anna Marc, qui est professeure permanent en web marketing à l'EGC, et Monsieur Johan Pavadé, directeur de l'école parallèle 14. Donc, on aura un webinaire en anglais. Vous pourrez suivre les informations sur les présentations PowerPoint et puis poser des questions sur le chat pendant toute la durée du webinaire, et puis on y répondra à la fin. Donc, n'hésitez pas à poser vos questions. Et donc, voilà, on va commencer. Voilà. Donc, thank you very much, everyone, for being with us this afternoon. So this afternoon, we're going to talk about digital tech, entrepreneurship, and the new opportunities rising in the Caribbean regarding those two sectors. Today, this afternoon with us, we have Miss Anama, who is a web marketing professor at EGC, which is a school in Martinique, and Mr. Johan Pavade, who is the director of Parallel 14. He's going to tell us a bit more about this school. So this webinar is going to be in English. You'll be able to follow the presentations on PowerPoint, and you can also ask all your questions in the chat now, and we will be able to answer them at the end of the presentations. So thank you very much, and we're going to start, not ladies first, we're going to start with Mr. Pavade. I'm going to open the presentation and leave you the floor.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Johan Pavade. Thanks for this introduction, Marie-Noël. Today, I'm going to talk about, indeed, digital entrepreneurship, and maybe try to answer to one question. Is digital can connect our region and also create new profession. First of all, I would like to introduce myself just a bit more. I'm a professional in the creative industry. I worked more than 15 years in this industry. I worked on different big movies that maybe you have seen in theater or maybe on TV, or also now on Netflix. I will explain later what is the creative industry, but what you have to understand is my journey as a technical artist and technical director in this industry. Let's go back 20 years ago. I was younger, and I'm from Martinique, and I dreamed to work on big movies. And you have to understand that at 20 years ago, there were no school in Martinique where I can learn freely, and I decided to go to France. It was difficult for my parents because financially, you can imagine that when you live to Martinique, to France, and to go to a private school, it can be difficult. Also, I was leaving my family, my country, and everything. So, but it wasn't a big issue for me because my mindset was really strong, and I really want to achieve my goals and work on this big project. So dreams come true, and I did it. I made it. But 6 years ago, I decided to go back to Martinique and take a break in my international career because I was in London, and to go back in Martinique and to help maybe my country to develop the creative industry in the region, and especially in Martinique. Let's talk about creative industry. What you have to understand about creative industry, it's a big market in the world. You have now Netflix, you have now Amazon Play, you have different broadcast platform. You can see movies, TV series, a lot of things. You can play video game also with your mobile, your laptop, wherever you want. And creative industry is a sector which bring together all the players who produce and broadcast images, real or virtual, fixed or moving. This concerns the audiovisual industry, animation, video game, and more generally, professions that exploit web and mobile interactivity. So you can understand now what is creative industry and how digital can help us in our region, to be connected to this market. That's my point today. And I think we have, to be connected to this market, we have to work on three things: culture, economy, and also learning. That's why 6 years ago, with a friend of mine, and we decided to go back to Martinique and create Parallel 14. Parallel 14 is the first high school in the Caribbean where you can learn 3D animation, VFX, video game with on a work study degrees. We work in partnership with different professionals around the world, in Montreal, Paris, Madrid, New Zealand. That helped us to keep a link with the industry. What is the process? The studio used to create content. So it's really important. So this is what we do at Parallel 14. I can show you some example of what our students are doing in Martinique. Just one thing, we have students from Martinique, from Guadeloupe, from Saint-Vincent. We hope that really soon we will have students from Jamaica. We also have students from Trinidad. I will explain later how. But yeah, this is an international campus, and we would like to just welcome more and more students from abroad. We have now a school where people from the Caribbean can learn 3D, but it was important for us to get a specific program to link our countries in the region. And of course, digital will help us to do that, especially in the time that we are living now with the COVID. And we create Cape 3D program. It means Caribbean Animation Program. It's a program, a really unique program. And the idea behind Cape 3D is to build a strong, innovative program around 3D animation, VFX, and video game. Our first partner in this program is UTT, the University of Trinidad and Tobago. With them, we just put the first step, because now we are working on creating two free short films in animation, one from Parallel 14 from Martinique, and one from UTT Trinidad and Tobago. So through this program, we will create a new way to build true Caribbean content in the region, because at the end of the program, I will mention that the program is during 10 months, not 10 years, 10 months. And at the end of the 10 years, the 10 months, sorry, we will have two free short films, two 3D short films in animation. During this program, we will share and blend courses, 3D assets, pipeline of production, mentoring session also. So, and discover also, the most important thing I believe, is to discover who we are and how deeply we are linked by stories, heritage, characters, landscape, and culture. So this is the description of this is my description, but this is a description of CAP 3D, the CAP 3D program. What I can say now is at the end of after 6 years where Parallel 14 exists, we use digital to create a link between our students and the world, because our mentors are from different studios, and digital help us to connect ourselves to the world and to have a big and a huge quality in our program. So that's my point. And I think that we achieve one step, because I can say that on December, for the first time, we will start to tell our stories to the world, because we create during 1 year and a half, we create a short film made by 7 students from the Caribbean. His name is Toll. The name of the movie is Toll. Toll is the Creole word, means metal sheet in English. Donc en français, ça veut dire pièce de métal. And yes, I will let you discover the short film. I will not spoil you, but this is a big step, because this is really the first time that we start to have content from us, and we will launch this short film around different international festival, and that means that people in the world will discover our culture, also how quality work, how we can be qualified to work in this industry, and maybe also I think that it could bring studios maybe maybe in few months or few years interested by our vision, and maybe we can think that we can believe that with this work we will have maybe really soon some students, our students, work in this big studio in London or whatever. Maybe also we can imagine that some students from Parallel 14, from CAP 3D program, they decide to create their own company directly in the region, and maybe offer their skills to the companies to create new content or different content for them. So yeah, I think this strategy will really help to develop our region, and digital is really an important key for that, because just to explain you guys, when you are working on this industry, you need to send big data, huge data to the client, and the client need to send you also, when you create content, need to send you also big data. So you can imagine that it's a big tube, and we have to secure this big tube. So we need that to be in this market. So what I can say also, in my experience, I decided to go back to Martinique, but without digital, it could not be possible to work in my industry from my country. So yeah, I think that now digital can give us the opportunity to have new profession in our region, because now we can have 3D modeler, we can have 3D animator, we can have also 3D lighter, we can also create video games, because we have the program now. We can also have an in-between program co-created by different countries in the Caribbean also. Students from Haiti, from Trinidad, from Jamaica can learn also Parallel 14 program from their house. So yeah, I think now things is possible, and we have to just take the opportunity to just be in the game now. It's a really game changer for me. I think I'm done. So if you have any question, I don't know if I spent too much time, but if you have any question about what I said, let me know. This is our YouTube channel, just to discover the work the students are doing. And also, if you have any question, go on our website and ask the question that you want on our contact channel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The time is fine. I know you wanted to show us a video. Is it still something you want to do?
Sure. Maybe I can finish on
You
that.
can go ahead.
This is our show wheel, our student show wheel. What you have to understand is each student has a show wheel. Sorry. Okay. Let's go back. Each student has a show wheel. It's like a portfolio at the end of this program. And this is how to get a job. It's not only the diploma, it's really what you can do in this industry, what is your skills, what is the quality and the level of your skills, on what kind of software you are comfortable. This is about all those things, and the portfolio has to illustrate that. Expose that. Illustrate that. And also, it's an opportunity to create character like us. So, yeah, make our kids watch on TV characters like us and tell the world our story. This is really important, and it's on the ADN of Parallel 14 project, kept 3D also. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pavade. That was very impressive, and I'm seeing in the chat that yes, everybody is very impressed by this video, especially what your students can do is very, very impressive. Thank you very much for your presentation that I really enjoyed. What I take away from it is, of course, what I'm interested in is the cooperation that you're developing right now with the University of Trinidad and Tobago. They are also an exhibitor with us today. So, everything makes sense within the region, everything is connected. And I really appreciate that, when you got the opportunity to go and study abroad, because what you wanted to do was not available here, and you decided to create your own school. What I would like to find out from you is, besides, all the trouble to travel and money and all these issues, but what is really the added value or the benefits that students get from learning, um, 3D and animation within the Caribbean? What's the difference between learning here and, going to London or like you did?
Oh, I think the main difference is just it is of course they can learn from people like them also, but because there is something I notice is sometimes we missed, we don't know that people from Martinique, Guadeloupe, or from the Caribbean work in a high level internationally. And we decided also at Parallel 14 to select our mentors also in this fact. So not because they are from Martinique or Guadeloupe, but because they are talented, but also our students can identify to them. And that's really, really important. The second thing is we create also link with different university in the region. That's really what we want. And also link from studios from Canada. We want to create link with studios at Trinidad, Jamaica, Miami. So it's also a way to tell our students, okay, you can have opportunities in Europe because, of course, you are French and you can go easily to Europe. But sometimes you can also take a look to a country which is close to you, and maybe there is some opportunities also to take in the Caribbean. Maybe there is some opportunity to take to USA, not only in America. And you just have to, speak English and also have a good work. I think that's the most important thing at Parallel 14. And of course, we are professionals and we decided to go back to create a school. Sometimes it's really different to a school which is created by maybe other people that maybe they want I don't know how to say that, but maybe they're really interested by an economic aspect of the business for the school, because our school is a private school, so this is also a business. But sometimes it's more than a business, it's a project. It's a project to help our youth to have opportunity that we could not have at their age.
All right. Thank you so much for this presentation and for this answer. So yeah, we have a lot of questions for you in the chats. So I'm just going to take one for now, and then we're going to move on to Miss Mark's presentation, and hopefully you will still be with us so that you can answer the other questions. Okay. All right. So the first question is, hello, Mr. Pavade, where is it possible to see Toll, the animation you showed us?
So Toll will be released on December, as I said. But as you know, guys, we have to send it in festival. And when a movie has a journey in a festival, we cannot show it before he finished his journey. So that's why we hope maybe in 1 year or in a few months, it depends, we will communicate on that and put it maybe on our website or maybe on our YouTube channel, and you will see it. But yeah, we can wait to show people what we do and what we did and what our students did.
Great, thank you so much. I'm seeing also some questions directly to the school. So for those persons, I would advise them to go on the booth. Parallel Capital, Parallel 14 has a booth in during the fair. So everything regarding payment plans and so on, you will get this information on the booth. So I'm just going to give the floor now to Miss Mark. I'm going to open the presentation and share the floor.
Thank you very much as well, Johan. It was really interesting to me as well to learn about the school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start my presentation. Thank you for having us today. So my name is Anna Mark, and I work as a marketing teacher at EGC Martinique, which is a business school. So I teach mostly marketing and also digital strategies. And today I'm going to try to tell you more about having a career in digital and entrepreneurship. So first, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself and my presentation with a cloud, as you can see. So I'm going to tell you first about my studies, and then I'll tell you more about the subject. So I started my studies in the southwest of France in business. Then I went to study in California, as you can see on the cloud. So it's great to be speaking with you today, as I was able to do an exchange year as well. It was a long time ago, but still I can still talk about it and everything great about it. The exchange student part, the year in California has been an incredible experience. So I can only encourage you to do it if you have the opportunity to do it in the Caribbean. So I know it's not the topic of the webinar, but still I can answer questions about it a little bit later. And then I did a master's degree in Paris at the Sorbonne, which is why you can see the words. And then I went on to start a career in digital marketing in Paris, working for software companies. So it was mostly lead generation through marketing activities such as Google Ads, social media ads on Facebook, and marketing automation. So those are my main specialties. And then I wanted to do something else. I wanted to help companies. So I worked for 3 years as a consultant, helping companies grow with digital. So it was a great 3 years with big companies, public institutions, and smaller companies and entrepreneurs as well, which is why you can see the word as well. And around that same time, I started teaching, and now I recently started a full-time position teaching at EGC Martinique. We have a booth as well, so if you have any questions about our programs, feel free to come to our booth. We have people from the school here. So that's all for my presentation. Then I wanted to present the school a little bit. So it was founded 32 years ago in Martinique, and we offer 4 degrees that I'm going to tell you about. So the first one is the bachelor's degree, the main one actually, in business administration. Then we have a 1-year degree in digital strategy, which is great. It helps you. It helps you learn about how to create a website, how to build websites, and how to be able to create a marketing strategy using social media and advertising. So it's a great program. We also have a 1-year degree in tourism, which we started this year. And we also have, finally, a master's degree in business administration. So everything there is to know about our programs, you can find on the booth. So let's talk about the real subject here, today's webinar. Being an entrepreneur in 2020, I'm going to tell you from my own experience talking about entrepreneurs that work mostly in digital. So I haven't had the chance, as you know, to start my own company yet, but I think that I will one day. But what I can tell you is from working with other entrepreneurs in Martinique. So the entrepreneur of 2020 is agile, and he puts its customer first. So what does it mean to put your customer first? It means that you will have to ask yourself, what would my customer want? You will have to adapt to what your market wants. So you will start with something, a product or a service, and you will have to adapt after a few years and change to fit what your customer wants. You will also have to use online tools, and you will have to be mobile first, because your future customers already are mobile first. I don't know if you have heard, but the internet traffic on mobile this year has gone over the one on desktop for the first time, which means that there are more people going on the internet on their mobiles than there are on desktop. So if you were to start a company, you would have to think mobile first. Also, I wanted to tell you more about offering a digital business model. So it's something that you would have to have in mind if you wanted to start your company. It's strongly encouraged, obviously. So a business model is how you would sell your products or services online, how you would sell or how you would work online. And especially with COVID crisis, there is a huge demand on digital products, e-commerce and online services in Martinique. A recent example of that, so as you know, stores and retailers, they were asked to, during the lockdown, to use click and collect services and be able to transfer their activity online. So obviously it has been a big change for many companies. So starting online would be, I think, what's most appropriate right now. I have a few examples for you if you wanted to start your own business with a digital business model. So obviously you could be able to create a website and sell something with an e-commerce website, sell products. Obviously, you could also decide to sell services. For example, if you wanted to be like a personal trainer, you could offer the possibility to book sessions online. So it would be a great way, to start something online, even though your activity is gonna be outside. If you have a subject that you love and that you master, you could, for example, write an ebook and sell it online. You could also create an online course, because training is really booming right now. Also, there are marketplace services. So like I said earlier, a lot of stores had to transfer the activity online, especially the smaller ones. It has not been easy for them. So if you offer marketplace services, or just a way to create like a marketplace on Facebook for small stores, it would be a huge game changer for them. And obviously freelancing is a great way to start your own business if you have a talent or if you have skills. So some things that you could do in digital strategies. So I'm going to tell you from my own experience and from what I have observed around me, because I have seen a lot of students, obviously, that have started companies. So first of all, let me tell you that if you want to start doing, a company helping other companies or helping other people, It's an awesome experience because I've worked as a consultant, so I can tell you it's really great. It's a great feeling, to help companies grow with digital. So first of all, social media management, which is something that's very appealing to students. Social media management, it's an option, but it's not the only one. So I tend to see a lot of my old students that want to start their business doing social media. It's good. There is space for everyone, but I would recommend to specialize in a specific area, to be different from other freelancers, because there are a lot of people that are trying to make it doing social media management. So I would recommend to specialize in an area, for example, Instagram ads. It would be great as a starter to not do the whole thing, because a lot of companies do the whole thing, and it's kind of hard to differentiate themselves from other companies. So obviously, social medias are huge right now. It's my second point, social commerce. So it's really booming right now, social commerce, especially on Facebook and Instagram. So you may have noticed that Facebook and Instagram are really pushing through e-commerce features. So they would love for you to not go through Google anymore, and go through their own marketplace and platform services. So obviously it is not happening right now. We are still going to Google first when we want to buy something, but I think that in a few months, in a few years, the trend would be otherwise. So social commerce would be great, I think. Google is going to retaliate, obviously, and I would recommend to keep up with their ads features as well as everything that they are doing with their search engine, obviously. Also, companies are looking for people doing content creation and web design. So content creation could be great to specialize in, I think, because obviously content is king on social media and on the web in general. So it could be a great way to start your company if you want to do freelancing. And web design, obviously, building websites. It's a great thing to do right now. So if you have a talent, if you have skills in this type of area, and if you want to learn, there are spaces for everyone. So I think it could be a great start. And my last point, it's about collaboration and project management tools, sorry. So it's not something that would come to mind immediately if you think about going freelancing in digital, but from what I can tell you, a lot of people are still working from home and they have to adapt to the crisis. A lot of companies are still doing that. And I can tell you that a lot of companies are not prepared for that at all. So I think that if you are mastering some tools, collaborative tools, productivity, project management, such as Zoom, such as Meet, obviously those tools are really big right now. So there are companies that are looking for this type of skills. So it could be a great way to start doing freelancing. And yeah, I think that was pretty much everything that I had to say. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mark, for this presentation. What I take away from this is that obviously digital technologies, and especially in terms of marketing, are booming right now. There are several ways to start a digital business because you can have different business models, and freelancing is a part of it with all the explanation and different types of freelancing that can be done. So thank you very much for that, because that was very clear, and I think the audience is going to, sometimes when you talk about digital, everything just comes up at the same time. So you're thinking about social media, you're thinking
Exactly.
about building a website, and sometimes it's very different, very difficult to understand the different part of it. So your presentation was very clear and clarified all of that. So thank you very much. What I wanted to find out from you is a little, to go back a little bit of your background, because you said you have studied in Paris, you have studied in the United States. What for you is the difference? It's a little bit similar to what I asked to Mr. Pavade. What is the added value of learning all that in the Caribbean now, rather than traveling and having to go to all those places like you did?
I think that a lot of companies need us, to start those businesses and help grow with digital. Like I said, a lot of companies have to make their business model evolve right now, and they have to put everything online. So I think that you can really see that you are making an impact, you are changing things if you do it from here. So I would say that you would help a lot of companies if you were to start it here.
Okay, thank you for that. And do you think that there is a challenge or something that is specific to the region that you wouldn't find? For example, when you were working as a consultant and you were helping companies to start their website and go digital, really, if I understand well. So what is something that you would have noticed, maybe a pattern between different companies, and that would be maybe specific to here and not something that we would find somewhere else?
So there is something that I noticed, something that I actually talked about earlier. You also mentioned it, sorry. Most people, when they talk about digital, they think about social media, they think about Facebook and Instagram. So they don't really know what to do. They came to us and told us, hey, we want to go digital. We want to go on the web. So can we do an ad on Facebook? And obviously it's way more than that. So what I can advise, if you were to start your company, do it using all of your skills in digital marketing, which is way larger than just Facebook and Instagram. I talked about content creation. I think it's pretty big right now. Web design and graphic design, it can really help a lot of companies. So yes, the other thing that I can tell is that companies are really trying to train themselves and learn digital strategies right now. So training programs are really huge as well here in Martinique.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Because Mr. Pavade was talking a while ago about creative industry, and that it's also a booming sector. And what I'm wondering is how big or how much work do you think we still need to do in the Caribbean to have completely digital, or at least most companies that are comfortable using those strategies? Do you think
It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think there's still a lot of work to be done and a lot of helping to be done with those companies. I'm not even talking about just the small companies. I'm talking about even bigger companies and bigger institutions that are really evolving and changing right now. So I would think that there is still a lot of work to be done and a lot of space for students to learn about digital and start their career in a digital field. So I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, that's my feeling too. That's my feeling too. I feel like we're making progress, but there's still a lot of things that we need to learn, and that's something, as you mentioned, that COVID really contributed to realize, because we realized that a lot of companies don't have a website.
Because it's funny, because a while ago when I started, companies were like, we don't need a website. We have like a Google My Business page, and it's enough, right? People can find us. We don't need to create websites. But right now it is not enough anymore, and they have learned this the hard way, and it's sad because a lot of companies, they had to adapt whether they wanted it or not. So right now, even institutions, everybody had to adapt. So yeah, it's a field that has a lot of big prospects ahead of it.
And how do you explain that? How do you explain this gap that we have right now? I know we mentioned a while ago that, you know, when you work in digital, sometimes you have to transfer a huge amount of data, and you know, and infrastructures don't always permit that. But how would you explain that, you know, there's still this gap and that needs to be filled, and that's actually most of the companies right now?
Infrastructures, sorry.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but I think a lot of companies did not have a website and did not sell online because they didn't feel the needs that they had to, you know. They thought, my competitors, they are not doing it. Amazon is not here in Martinique, so why would I need to have a website, right? So that kind of explains some of the gap, obviously, but not the whole thing. And they would think, you know, we are working perfectly. We have a turnover. We are growing, even though we are not going digital right now. So why would we need to do it? You know, they didn't feel the pressure to do it.
Okay, so,
So yeah,
so sometimes we need to work from pressure and hardship.
I don't know, but I think that now that they understand that all of the customers, all of the people, we are already, you know, we are here, we are mobile, like I said. So I think they have learned something from it. It's that digital is going to be part of our lives anyway, so we might as well do it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough. And in terms of cooperation, because you know that's what I like. What do you think is what type of avenues or what type of opportunities may arise in the future regarding digital technology in the region, or you know,
What do you mean in terms of cooperation?
cooperation
Cooperation.
between different countries? So I maybe, you know, we don't have because we don't have the same cultures, right, between the French speaking and the English speaking Caribbean. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure if the English speaking is more digital savvy than we are. I wouldn't assume so. Maybe they are. But you know, how could we learn from them, and how they could learn from us in terms of this digital transformation,
That's a
or
great question. I don't have the answer, but I think it is true that we don't even share the same language
right.
in terms of English, Spanish, and French. So we would need to, I don't know, exchange things and exchange, sorry, markets, ideas. And right now we are not even exchanging a lot of products, you know, in retail industry. So I think yeah, things would need to change in a way that we would do more exchanges, and we would collaborate more. And the virtual forum, the Elan, is a great example of what we can do with the Caribbean. So more initiatives like this would definitely lose the borders
Right. Yeah.
between
Yeah. Because of
us.
that, yeah, I feel like in some areas we are more. I wouldn't say advanced, but you know, there are some areas where it's a little bit more natural to think of cooperation. So, for example, we were having a webinar on healthcare sector, and
Hmm.
you know, with the OECS, they are able to put together doctors and try and put together research, because you know this country has that and that country has that, so they're trying to put it together. And I feel like in some areas it's a little bit more natural, or it comes more naturally. And surely, yeah, for digital, that's not something that we hear a lot.
That is true. I haven't heard a lot of, I mean, between Martinique and Guadeloupe, obviously you can start a freelance career in digital, social media, and offer your services, you know, in the Caribbean, in French speaking countries, islands, obviously. But if you want to do it in English, it's fine too, you know, those skills, they are the same, whether you speak French,
Right.
whether you speak English or Spanish. So I think it's definitely doable, and I would advise to do it as well, because you know it's the same territory, and we have skills, we have talents here, so you know you can offer it to keep it, I mean, in the region.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. I agree. Well, thank you very much for this webinar, for this presentation, and taking the time to speak with us
Thank
this
you.
afternoon. I think you clarified a lot of things for a lot of people. Because as I said,
Well,
sometimes it
yeah.
can be this big blur.
Hopefully it was interesting to you guys, even though I didn't see any questions. Hopefully you liked it, and feel free to come to our booth. Like I said, we will be here until 6. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. I think it was too clear. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly. That's what you were saying. That was just
That's
too
perfect.
clear.
That's perfect. If it was clear, it's the main thing.
Great, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Anna, for being with
Bye
us,
bye.
and thank you very much to our audience for being with us this afternoon. So we have our last webinar for the day and for the fair starting at 5. So you wouldn't want to miss it. Otherwise, well, we won't have any other webinars. So yes, stay tuned for the next webinar at 5. Thank you, guys, and see
Bye
you in a
bye.
few. Bye bye.